For quite some months, every 23rd or 24th, Bhushan and I used to sit together and used to be like, yeah, पैसे नहीं साले and then they took us to an airport jail. Our motivation to raise money went in the opposite direction.
I would probably start it with how did you guys meet? Did you guys know each other before, or you just met?
No, we didn't know each other before starting Zentrum, we could say that. So we met through a common friend, which is not a common friend, you could say more of a business friend for him and a mutual friend for me. So which is Abhinav, who's the CEO for the company. So he had this idea, I mean he has worked in this industry for quite some time now, and he has been solving that tech problem for quite some time. So he knew that the problem existed. During COVID, you could say before COVID, Bhushan was his customer. So Bhushan was on the other side of his world. He knew that Bhushan has a strong operation excellence, and he was the one who was driving everything.
I'm sure that when you guys have met, you have not started from the office, right? In the beginning, like where did you start from? What was the first office like, right? And then how did you think of getting an office?
I think you should answer. Office space is very close to his heart, so I think you should take that one.
So I still recollect our first few days at the chai tap, where we used to often meet after in the evenings. We used to sit, chat, talk over there. And then there was this idea which was there, right? Being into travel for like 15 years now, doing piece of integration. There was no office as such. There was a lot on phone calls, discussions any time of the day. It was a bunch of 5 of us whom we started. And then what we wanted to do is write suppliers from the start, thanks to some friends in the industry who gave us the opportunity, who said that, okay, I'll share the documentation. And Abhinav said that, Bhushan, for me, you get me the documentation, get me the credentials, get me the email contacts, and then we start doing it. After a few months of shaping the first product, writing for 6 suppliers, we started huddling some place in at Kalyani Nagar. That was the first makeshift office where we got some desk space to sit and we work, do some time dedicated sit down. This office is very close to my heart, very kind. Everything started over here, right? When we bought this office was 20-seater office, and I used to say that, yeah, हम तो सिर्फ 7 लोग हैं, why do we need a 20 sitting capacity office, right? Where most of the seats would be vacant. We used to use only one side of the office and half of the side was vacant, right? But I would say that those are my days. First office, first discussion, first desk. I would say we work, and then Sky is the way we are put up for 4 years now.
We are not big in terms of revenue, right? So I will still hand him out. So the entire focus was always survival. So that was the core idea. So we wanted a space where people can come and sit. They have good space to sit, a comfortable sitting space, a comfortable pantry where people can eat well, and you could say closer to location, so wherever the maximum employees are staying. So we wanted easy access. Public transport should be easy. So it was very simple and basic things that we were looking at.
But at that point in time, when you decided to go for a co-working space, you had some customers. Like,
Yes.
what was the scenario in there?
Yeah, we had our early first 2 customers for which we were trying to solve this problem and maintain and extend the code. Yes, one was from India, one was from US.
Moving from a child tapri to a place in Kalyani Nagar, right?
The child is still there.
Chai is still there, right?
When I meet a lot of founders, they always think that first get an office, right? I believe, and I echo with you when you're saying, right? I mean, first we some customers, let's try and work towards getting the customer rather than getting the office first. Another thing is in this particular scenario where till the time that you have had your first customer, did you register the company?
No, I would say no. Honest truth is no. We started.
Okay, so not during COVID, you could
Yeah,
say we
yeah.
registered the company in 2021.
Yeah, because during COVID everything was paused, right? No one was working.
Yes.
So right, so the company got registered in 2020 is when
Yeah,
we
you could
started
say
making it.
Akbar Travels did show faithfulness before that. So you could say the MVP version of the product is where we started with Akbar Travels, and that what scaled. So 2021, when everything came back to life, you could say that. That's where we registered the company, and that's where we had the co-working space. But everything started, I think, from 2020, the COVID. I mean, start of COVID, you could say, which was March 2020. That's when everything started, and that's where we started building.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Have you ever guys thought of taking the investment?
So investment, I would say initially no, but in between when we got stuck somewhere, yes. So there was a time when we were literally hand to mouth, and we thought the only way to scale up is to put in more money. So and I think that was a bad phase as well because those 6 months, even after doing everything right, we didn't understand what is the next step that we should go for and what will actually help us out, right? So that was the time when we thought that if we need to, because being a startup, you're expected to grow faster. So if you don't grow faster in your startup, at least 2x growth or say 100% growth, you're not considered as successful startup. So those market scenarios, the people around you will talk about these things that will always put you under pressure. And then we came to a situation where everything was hand to mouth, and it was, you could say, worse than hand to mouth. And that's why we thought that the only way to move ahead would be raising money. And I think we did try to speak to a couple of investors, a couple of people who can help us out in this journey. But what we realized is our vision, where we want to take the company, and their vision. Firstly, there is no alignment. Second, the valuation that we were getting at that time, it was better to not get any money and have someone sitting on top of your head and then telling you to do things. And third, it was very important for us to have someone who can help us in this journey. Not just put in money, but also help us in the journey in terms of how to grow. Considering these three scenarios, and I think we spoke to only a couple of people, not more than that, 2 or 3 people. After speaking to them, our motivation to raise money went in the opposite direction. But we don't know anything. We literally thought that we don't know anything, we're doing everything wrong. We don't know how to make a company, how to make it bigger. And our confidence, instead of boosting up, I think it went in the opposite direction, and that's where we stopped. We said, okay, ab aur paisa nahi chahiye, we don't want to raise money. And then those 6 months were a tough phase where you could say we took some tough calls. All the founding team, the leadership team, they took a huge cut on their salaries. Some people were laid off because of, you could say, the financial situation at that time. But those 6 months taught us a lot. You could say, initially, how we build the company, the mindset or the thought process in those first couple of years, then that 6 months, and now. I think that's completely different because those 6 months taught us in terms of what you need to focus on. And I think that's why we signed a couple of big clients, because happy, not just happy, but helped us to survive during that difficult phase. But I think that lasted only for 6 months. And after that, we got back into action. You could say we started doing well, we started getting more customers, and I think the team size immediately doubled within the next 6 months after that period. So things changed pretty fast, but I think it's mainly because of the change in focus, and that came in through that particular tough phase, you could say.
During this journey, what is the lowest your bank balances have gone?
Lowest.
I think he can answer that. But
2 lakh 3 rupees or something. Because specific because 2 lakh rupees is the minimum balance which has to be in the account.
So 3 rupees, you could say then 3 rupees. Because the minimum balance we cannot withdraw that, नहीं तो वो भी निकाल देते हैं, but right.
So lowest was right. Everyone has a EMI to pay. Me up in a Boney. We used to sit and say during our salary, days that yeah, तेरा EMI अभी है ना, you have your EMI on 10th, okay, let me give you okay this much cash for now, right? This is the pure startup days. All anyone who is hearing this, listening this would relate that no पैसे इतने ही है. This is how we want to give, and everyone was taking drawing salaries. All of us had the same salary, right? What was the bare minimum required? What is your expense? What is your household expense? And what is that? That was the base salary, and then we continued to do that, and we had a couple of months. In between, Boney was talking about, right? You asked about what was the investment. There is a friend, right, who's been supporting us, who's been helping us. We had a very low during that time. He gave me a check of 50 lakh rupees and said, Bhushan, use this. This is whenever you need fund, right? I'm depositing this check in your account. Run the show. Don't take the stress of recovery and putting those 5 days into pain of collection money. Rather use those 5 days. But yeah, there's something called as a discipline. We made a point that we will not touch those 50 lakhs. We always had this on back of mind that hey, anything goes bad, we had this 50 lakhs in our bank account. And later, after I would say that was a tactic or whatever, God's blessing. We 9 months later, in those time of 9 months, we did not had a time to withdraw a rupee from that, but yes, the bank balance showed some funds.
But I think the lowest balance was constant for quite some months. Every 23rd or 24th, Bhushan and I used to sit together and used to be like, yeah, पैसे नहीं साले. So, and I still remember there was a day, 30th or 31st of 1 month, and he said that we are running 7 or 8 lakhs short. And trust me, this happened with us. We called few customers. The money was not due. And we just told them that guys, we need the payment upfront, which was due, you could say, a couple of months down the line. And guys, we need this because we need the money right now.
Yeah, we need the money.
And that's all we said, and nobody asked us why. Why do you need the money? People trusted us, the customers trusted us. And within, you could say, the 24 hours after that call, I think we recovered the money and we were able to pay the salary.
Having said that, what was your journey to find the first customer for Zentrum?
I think he was the first customer, so that was helpful. I would say we were lucky. I don't know if we were lucky or it was a goodwill that Bhushan or Abhinav created in the past. Because Abhinav worked for a tech company, Bhushan worked in Akbar Travels itself. So you could say it was goodwill of Abhinav in terms of tech, which was, you could say, used by Akbar Travels. And it was goodwill of Bhushan with the team of Akbar Travels that they still trusted him that okay, even you guys don't have anything with a team size of 5 people, we can trust you and we can start.
What was your journey, Bhushan, when you went back to Akbar Travel? Asked them like, this is something that we have built, and what was your conversation like at that point in time?
So conversation with Team Akbar, with Jitesh, who is a friend, was that we had this time, we have created this product, travel has paused, right? You have a team at ZentrumHub who's been managing this, building this product. Could you give us a chance for us doing the same thing? And we do this at 1/4 of the cost what you are doing, right? Being an early startup, right? A young startup, we thanks to AWS, they gave us some credit, which was monthly recurring cost for any existing business. Something which is established comes, there is a premium that everyone pays in your AWS services for hosting to usage. But for us, as we started new, learnings from market, Abhinav knew something, some friends suggested what to be done. So through that, right, I would say one success in our journey is AWS as well, who gave us some good grades in those COVID days, which helped us to get and start doing it, right? Conversation with Akbar, I do not know. It's kind of a blessing, right? And there's no words to articulate how it happened. It happened, right?
I probably say that today as well. Akbar was our first customer, and even today you could say Akbar is one of our top 5 and biggest customers. Akbar Travels, and there was one more customer in the US which we started with, which was again at hotel. again a very good friend from US. The name of the company was Trip Scout. They're not working with us yet because they moved on to something bigger. But I think still a well-wisher, still working in the industry. So yeah, those were a couple of customers that we started with.
So when you got your first customer, at that point in time, were you guys registered?
No.
Till the time you got your first customer, how many members were you in the company at that point in time? You five, right? And
I was of no use because I was into sales and marketing, so no customers, nothing to do. I was just observing things.
when you had this, when was that time that you had decided that okay, let's hire somebody? What was your first hire like?
First time was Siddharth, right?
Siddharth was the
Okay. Yeah. And the idea was to look at day to day. Akbar was a running business doing more than 200, 250, 300 bookings a day, right? Established, everything was been working well, was working with multiple suppliers. They already had something built up and running. And then we also created the same piece of the work. There was a transition. They are managing those suppliers which was already running versus what we had built, ensuring that both the systems stand in the same order. All the features, functionalities are there.
Is there any kind of motivation to come to 100 suppliers, and do you have like further motivation that these many suppliers I would want to get to?
There was two numbers which was there on my mind, and this number came from Boney. At the very beginning, what we want to have 100 customers, 100 suppliers, right? When we had 3 customers and 6 suppliers that we have written. When Boney joined, right, what was the conversation with me? I was telling, right, this I did. My first supplier that I wrote was Turico and DCR back those days, and then with GTA. Right, Boney said, Bhushan, 100 kar sakte hai kya? And I was like, 100. Okay, love it. Right, I still have written in somewhere in my book that okay, what we want to do is 100 on this
And what's your further goal now?
1,000.
Are we declaring it right now?
Yeah, let's. I think that would be an ideal scenario to reach 1,000, but I think we would definitely want to reach to 200 within the next 1 year or so that and then we would want to continue that. I think after a certain stage, more than adding more customers, the key would be to maintain the existing ones that we have. So
definitely.
That would be a big challenge.
Right. That's true, because if the maintenance is not right, then you're going in the same problem where you started.
And we are known for good support. So I think one of the USPs of ZentrumHub is good customer support. So.
Oh, that's interesting. A little birdie has told me one little story that you guys went missing once. Why, how, when, and where?
Okay, it's true. I think it was I would say, a very, very bad experience, to have to be very honest. It all started with an event. So there was an event called as Market Hub by Hotel Beds. Now, the event was in Cancun, Mexico. And this is an invite-only event. So you cannot actually pay and get into the event. So being a startup, it was a very big thing for us that we were invited to this particular event.
So we got this invitation, and Boney's wife Aditi has been telling me, you guys shouldn't go to Mexico.
Yeah, she told him as well that you should not go to Mexico.
The first thing is, right, we got this invite, we were excited. Wow, Hotel Beds America is calling us for this event. I've been to Market Hub Asia multiple times.
We went to the plane to Mexico. I think we landed 6 p.m. in the evening, Mexico. 6:30 p.m. in the evening. And the moment we landed, we got into the immigration line. So we went to the counter, and that's where the guy started asking some weird questions. So initially he asked, why are you here? The standard thing, right? Why are you here? What event? We told him everything. We're here for this particular event. This is the invite. This is the name of the hotel that we're staying. These are our return tickets. After that, the first question that comes in is, why are you not traveling with your wives? So we both got confused, like, okay, we are here on a work trip, we told you that, right? The second question is how much cash you are carrying. And I lost my wallet, so we didn't have a lot of cash, right? So, and then show me the number of credit cards you have. I think both of us had one credit card, which was his, because I lost one of his, 2 of mine, so it was his. And then we told him the story, like, this is what happened with us on the Paris airport. And then I thought, now he's not going to believe this story. And he asked a couple of more questions, and then he went back. He firstly asked us to submit our mobile phones. He took our passports first, and then he asked us to submit our mobile phones. And then he went back again in the cabin, came back, and he said that you have to wait for additional questioning. And that's where I think it started getting scary. So we started talking to people in the room, right? There were a lot of people, because after we waited for almost 30-40 minutes, we were like, what is this, right? So we started talking to people, and people were like, we are here for 24 hours. I'm like, what? What? So again, we were not believing it. I'm like, who does that? Not possible. And you won't believe it, but there were families, there were kids. So because the privileged countries had a different queue. Right, so all the European countries, all the Americans, they had a different queue, and they were passing through that queue. In our queue, I think the only countries people were allowed were Chinese. If I'm not wrong, the Chinese were Japanese. Chinese and Japanese, yeah. So they were going through. And apart from that, all the other countries, all the Asian countries, all the African countries, everybody was asked to wait in the cabin, at the backside of the cabin. Now this is where they started responding to us in Spanish. Nobody is talking to us in English. We waited there for 2 hours, and then we figured out that something is wrong here. But then they finally took our name. I think after 2 hours, they called our name, like Bhushan, Mrigendra, and then I got happy, he got happy, like, okay, finally they're letting us go. So then they gave us our passports, made us stand like this, like you stand in a jail. We didn't realize it back then, ki kya ho raha hai. We thought that they're letting us go. So they made us stand in a queue outside, and they started walking us somewhere. And then I realized our bags are still on the, the belt. So what's wrong? Where are they taking us? And then they took us to an airport jail. So we both of us were put in a jail with almost 30-35 people, a very small jail, like a proper jail. I would say that the door had a small window like this. It had a corridor, the multiple jails, multiple doors to protect that particular jail. So when we went inside, we actually didn't realize what was happening. Yeah. Like we didn't speak to each other for I think 4 or 5 hours. Like what is happening? And till that time, I think there were no Indians because everybody was sleeping with their blankets on. Bhushan started requesting them, standing on the door, that I have a daughter, let me at least speak to her. People would be worried back home, let us just inform them. He was, I think, requesting for more than an hour or two. Response, like very cold people, you could say that. I went and I felt sick. I started feeling feverish. I told him. I took a pill. I went to sleep. After 6 or 7 hours, suddenly all the Indians woke up. Right? So because they were sleeping by then, we were there. Right. Told us that we are all the jumpers where we are crossing Mexico border and we want to get into the States.
Oh.
So they tagged us as jumpers as well because everybody was doing that to get into the United States. I think they might were getting paid from the US government. So they were actually being racist and making everybody wait.
Wow.
Of a particular skin color. Right. All the people of that skin color were waiting, no matter if you have the valid documents. Provided if you had the US visa, then you were let in. So we didn't have US visa back then. Right. So that's why they were making everybody wait who didn't have a proper valid US visa. 1 hour later, somebody came in again and then he took both of us out and then he took us in front of the senior officer at that airport, and that's where the officer told us that your families are worried, they're looking for you. These are your phones and you should talk to them first. But after I think 17 or 18 hours in that jail, we got out. And then we spoke to someone on the phone, which was I think BG, we call him as BG, and there was someone from, so he's again a part of the same industry, you could say like a mentor to us. So he was there on the call and someone from Indian Embassy was there on the call. And that's what I think our respect for India grew. The embassy guy spoke so rudely to the officer that how can you do this? And then he told them that put them on the next flight that you have. I don't care, even if there are tickets or there are no tickets. We took some time there, we spoke to our families and stuff, and then we said that and now once we were out, we thought everything is normal. That's when the business kicked in. So, I think after that, the Indian embassy guy told us that I'm going to book your next flight. We have an event to attend. So we need to go to the event. We will come back as scheduled. Please let us out. I think that happened. After I think some 1 hour, we still had to wait for a couple of hours because some procedures that they had to follow. They still made us wait. Nobody said sorry. In fact, while giving us a stamp, they said that we are keeping an eye on you. You need to leave by this date and stuff like that. Then they let us in, you could say, the country, which is Cancun. We went to the event. But I think during that, so this is our side of the story, right? But a lot of things happened in the background where everybody started looking out for us. So I think group that was created where people were looking out for us. We have tweeted, it had some 200 retweets within 1 hour or 2 hours. And that's how it reached to the Indian Embassy, and then the Indian Embassy looked out for us. We got home. And I still remember, I think once we went to the event, I told him, now we don't have to do anything. I think we are the superstars. So I think we are going to get everything that we are here for. So networking became easier because everybody wanted to know what happened with that. That's where we realized, I think you spoke about one problem in the tech for travel. I think more than tech, this is a bigger problem that people should look at is, you could say zero information, or you could say wrong information when you travel to a particular country in terms of safety. And I think the genuine travelers, or you could say the innocent travelers, I think you can face problems in any country, anywhere in the world. But it was a terrible experience.
Of course.
Those 18 hours of jail, I think I cannot forget that because I still believe the walls had the date set. I came in on this date, I left on this date. I was checking, we both were checking, did somebody leave in 10 hours? No. Anybody who left the room was at least there for 36 hours or 48 hours. Minimum, people were there for a week, 10 days and stuff like that. So it was a terrible thing. And
we have traveled almost all the events together, or if not all. Now we have decided we travel different thanks to the US visa, where things are simpler now. They look at us differently. But thanks to the ecosystem and the support that we had, there were partners from US who been talking to Abhinav and other friends, and they said that okay, I know some people who can help to mitigate the situation, and we can pay some ransom, and then we'll rescue these guys out. So
it's a hell of a experience to be with, right? And I don't know how did you guys do it, but after all of that, attending an event, out of that whole situation, how many customers did you get?
Perfect. So now, you remember I told you that we were in a position of 6 months where we were in a very bad state and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then we got one customer who took us out of that. We met that customer in that event.
Wow.
yes.
The way I am thinking right now, we started at a chai ki thadi. We had like 3 rupees at our, balance in our accounts. Went to jail, then got customers. The next section is no title free course. One candidate who has spent 2 years same company or 2 years 3 companies.
I think it doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to you. Why it matters to you?
Yeah, 2 years, same company. I would go with that. That's my way of lens of looking at it.
Makes sense. One thing that AI cannot do better because humans mess it up better.
Sales.
What do you think upon the AI lead generation tools that are coming nowadays? Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yes.
We have, you could say, we have put in a lot of AI, again, thanks to our marketing team. A lot of lead generation is done through AI for us as well. So you could say a job of 5 people is currently handled by 1 person just because it's benefit.
But what is that one thing that AI cannot do?
I think so. Relationships. I think empathy.
What is underdog that you have hired in your company?
I think one of the smart hires is we do not give him a lot of credit, but that can also be our office boy, to be very honest. Because I think the way he has managed to work for us, because there was a time when we thought that we need 2 office boys, so more hands-on support. But I think that has been one of the hires. Probably our office boy Hamid as well. I think
Hamid.
Hamid, yeah. So I think the hands-on things at office. Before him, I think we both were so involved about yeah, इसको coffee नहीं पिलाया या फिर where's the water, like we don't even know where the water bottles are. So that depended on him, right? So I think that could be one of the very smart hires that we have. We could say
That's
that.
interesting. At least.
I would say Piyush from customer success is a good hire.
Siddharth, you could say, was the first hire.
Siddharth, I would like that was the name on the mind. So
That is the first hire in product team, I think, which was really amazing. In terms of marketing and sales, I think sales, Yashika has been the first hire in sales, which she's doing amazing. In marketing, I think Saurabh was the first hire in
Yes.
sales, in marketing. In customer support, Ritu, I think, was the first hire.
Yeah, Ritu was there.
Ritu was the first hire in customer support. I think Piyush is doing extremely well. In partnerships, I think we have Charlotte, who's the first hire there. In our finance and accounts, we only have one guy and the first hire, which is Pandurang. I think he's doing well there.
Anything that interests you on YouTube?
I'm a big Samay Raina fan, so you could say that. So after Samay, it was my first YouTube paid subscription,
Who is it?
which was Samay Raina. So I think that's something that is there on YouTube. But I think I use personally a lot of YouTube for podcast, hearing a lot of stuff whenever I'm driving or traveling somewhere. So you could say popular podcast, or you could say Ranveer, Raj Shamani, and
Yeah.
you also have Nikhil Kamatas doing a lot of podcasts.
Yes.
There are a lot of sales and marketing things that you hear from on YouTube.
Yeah. How about you?
I would again say right, Samay Raina. No, I would not say like that way, but yeah, some earlier it was some hilarious Marathi short videos, and Chala Hawaii Udya is something that I love to see. Right?
One travel destination that you have been to and you would suggest?
Okay, I think a very recent one, which is Malta. I'm not so sure if you like it, but I think we'll both love that destination.
Yes.
Because it's historic. It has good some
Amazing
beaches,
landscape.
amazing beaches, amazing landscapes, good nightlife as well. So I think all in one, Malta. Personally, apart from Malta, if you ask me what city I love the most, I think that would be Madrid. So I love the cultural vibe, the historical building.
I would say like the place I would suggest everyone should go visit love is my hometown, my village Sindhudurg. It's very beautiful. There is a direct flight from Pune to Sindhudurg, 45 minutes. Amazing food, amazing fresh seafood. Very humble people.
Very nice. If you had to fire a co-founder to save the company, will you do that or not?
To save the company, I think all four of us would say yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. To save the company, yes.
Guys, the next section we will probably move on towards is blame your co-founder,
Okay.
right? Who is the most empathetic hirer?
Bhushan.
Hmm?
For me, I think Bhushan is.
Yeah.
For you?
I think Umar is a empathetic hire.
Hmm?
Yeah.
And who is the brutal one?
Me.
Boney.
Who is quickest AI adapter?
No.
I know.
Yeah. Kumar? Kumar is a dog. Kumar does too many things, yeah.
Who is a party person?
Boney. Sina.
Me and
Sina.
me when not drunk, Abhinav when drunk. Right? I think so.
That's a good one. Who is a foodie?
Bhushan.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt.
Like Bhushan is on diet only in India.
And who is a fitness freak?
Nobody is saying so.
Sina.
Abhinav, yeah.
Abhinav, we are twice
As
a week.
compared to four
of us.
I think Abhinav is.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. That was a great chat that we had. I'm sure that we would be learning a lot as a founder. Yes, the whole journey have been exceptional that you guys have told us.
So thank you so much for having us here, and we look forward to looking at more inspirations from you, where
Yes.
you meet more people and we can learn from them.
Yeah.
Definitely.